Welcome back to the Notary Podcast hosted by me, Daniel C. Lewis, and I'm so glad you're back this week. This week, we have a hot topic of do's and don'ts. You're not going to want to miss this. Cue the music. Welcome back to the Notary Podcast hosted by me, Daniel C. Lewis, and we love doing this for you each and every week. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to our podcast. It'll go a long way with how we present the podcast and how we can promote the podcast. Definitely share it in your groups. This week, we're going to talk about the do's and don'ts of marketing. I was inspired by an article I read by Kelly Clark of the National Notary Association. This week she wrote do's and don'ts of successful notary promotion. If you haven't read that article by the National Notary Association by Kelly Clark, definitely you want to check that article out. It's a fantastic article. In fact, what I'm going to do today, I was so impressed by the article, I'm going to actually expand upon the do's and don'ts of notary promotions, self-promotions, and marketing, because that's a question I get a lot. Do's and don'ts. What should I do to market myself? What things are considered bad to do or considered not so great to do? So we're talking about do's and don'ts of professional marketing, of self-marketing. So I'm going to give you a couple of things that you can do to market yourself correctly, and some of the things you shouldn't do, don'ts, that you kind of want to refrain from. The first thing you want to do in the do section is know your audience. Understand the needs of potential clients, real estate professionals, legal professionals, business, and the general public, and tailor your message accordingly. Knowing who your clients are is so important for you in order for you to tailor your message to those clients. So know your audience. That's a do. Know your audience. Another do, have a professional online presence. That is so critical in today's times. Business is moving at the speed of light these days. And when people want to get a notary, the first thing they do is do a search online. You should have some type of online presence. Maintain a well-designed website and an active presence on platforms like LinkedIn, Google Business Profile, and social media to build credibility. Also, I see a lot of people have an online presence on Facebook. This is a great way to build your business, because what I always recommend to people is when they're first starting off, they would go on and do a notary near me search and see what comes up, or even search your name. Put your name or the name of your notary business and see what comes up. That really helps you set up the standards for yourself. So know or have a personal online presence. That's under do section. Have an online personal presence. Third thing in the do category, leverage your SEO, that's search engine optimization, and local listings. Definitely optimize your website for search engines and claim your Google Business Profile to appear to local searches. This is very important. In fact, today is Tuesday. I optimized just recently my profile on a website called Find a Notary. That's a website by the National Notary Association. I want to highly recommend that website if you're a notary just starting off or just wanting general notary work. It's Tuesday today, the week started yesterday, and I've already gotten 4 recommendations from Find a Notary. And that's just from optimizing my search, putting in all the things that I've gotten certifications in, like I-9s, apostilles, wedding officiant, car deals. I've put all my certifications in there, and when people look for those type things, I come up first. And like I said, I got 4 recommendations on just that website, Find a Notary, just this week. So definitely make sure your profiles on websites are up to date. All your certifications are there. And if you're looking to get certified for something, there's always sites like lewistraining.online that help you with your certifications. Got to put that plug in there. Use and the fourth thing in the do's category, use testimonials and reviews. I always ask people when they come to me, especially for general notary work, how did you find me? How did you get to my service? And they tell me, and then I ask them, whether it's on Yelp, a Google business page, or whatever, hey, could you put a review for me? So use those testimonials. Encourage satisfied customers to leave reviews on Google, Yelp, and on Facebook to build trust. And I've just seen a very nice testimonial for one of my classes on Facebook. So that really, really helps. The fifth thing, and this is so important, I talk about this in other videos, on other podcasts, network consistently. Attend industry events, definitely. Join local business groups, and connect with real estate agents, attorneys, and loan officers, people that use notaries. I would even add to that list social workers in hospitals, nursing homes, assisted living, rehabilitation centers, because they always, I've told you about getting 4 referrals from findanotary.com this week for myself, but I've also got 3 referrals from hospitals, nursing homes, assisted livings this week on general notary work. Building referral partners is such a great way to have a sustainable business. So you want to make sure you network consistently. That's in the do category. Number 6, educate and don't just sell. Share valuable content such as notary tips, common mistakes, or frequently asked questions via blogs, videos, or social media. Yeah, don't be undercover notary. Definitely give notary tips about identification, why you should have the right identification, notary tips on what to do with other notaries, because other notaries can work as a referral partner to you also. And when I talk to hospitals, I tell them exactly my procedure, how I try to make it safe for both the person that's signing, the person that called me, and the hospital, and myself, trying to make it a win-win-win situation. So definitely educate and don't just sell. That's in the do category. Number 7, offer multiple services. If you're a notary entrepreneur, if you're somebody that wants to make this as a living or even increase your income just doing it part-time, but you want to increase your income, you must, did I say must 3 times? Yes, must diversify your notary business. You must diversify your notary business. We offer an I-9 verification, certification, apostilles for Indiana, wedding officiant class. We offer a notary permit runner. We offer a lot of different classes so that you can diversify and certify your business so that you can build a nice, strong business. Highlight additional services like wedding officiant, I-9 verification, or fingerprinting to attract a wider audience. Number 8 in the do category, create a strong brand identity. Use consistent logo, color schemes, and messaging across all your materials. This branding just helps so much in the notary business, making sure you're branding your business. Here's a great example. When you're driving down the highway and you see those golden arches, you might even see the sign, but you see the golden arches. And it's scientifically proven that when kids see that, when they're driving down the highway, it instantly makes them salivate for a burger and fries and a nice shake and apple pies. Just seeing that branding. So branding is so important. Make sure you're branding your business very well. Where if I even see something When I think of different services, I'm thinking of you directly. When I think of notary services, that's how strong your brand should be. When you're thinking of notary services, when people are walking around, they think notary, they should think you right away. Number 9 in the do category. Engage with clients on social media. And this is a thing that I see notaries really kind of refrain from. They kind of just like the what they call trolling, look at materials online, but they don't like to engage in the social media concept. Post regularly, respond to inquiries, and participate in discussions to stay top of mind. So when people, again, think of notary, they think of you. When they think of apostilles, they think of you. When they think of I-9s, they think of you. Branding, engage in social media. It really helps your business. And number 10 on the do category. This is all in the do category. Track and analyze your marketing efforts. So important. Track and analyze your marketing efforts. Use analytics tools to see what marketing strategies are working and refine your approach. Now, some people say, like myself, analytic tools, it's so easy now on just about every website. You can, there's some kind of, in the admin section or system section, you can look at your analytics, how many people are approaching your site, how many people are hitting your site. When I first started, I wasn't really good with the analytics. My analytics was how much money I was coming in to my bank account each month. That was part of my analytics. But I since then have grown and evolved my business where I have looked at the analytics of each site and then make little tweaks here and little tweaks there to make it more attractive. So on the do's category, let me just cover the do's really quick. Know your audience, have a professional online presence, leverage SEO and local listings, use testimonials and reviews, network consistently to get that referral partnership, educate, just don't sell, educate the general public about your business, offer multiple services, create a strong brand identity, engage with clients on social media, and track and analyze your marketing efforts. Those are all in the do's category. Let's talk about some of the don'ts right quick. I gave you 10 do's. I'm going to give you 10 don'ts. Don't spam your potential clients. Avoid sending unsolicited messages or posting excessively about your services without adding value. Don't spam your clients. That's the first thing in the don't category. The second thing in the don't category is don't violate advertising laws. I know in our state, you can't call yourself a notary publico because that refers to, in Spanish-speaking countries, as an attorney. So follow your state notary advertising guidelines, including rules about claims like certified notary, if not applicable. Some people call themselves, you don't want to call yourselves, something that you're not. Like if you don't have the certifications for like I-9 verifications or certifications for apostille services, that type of thing, you don't want to put that on your website or your notary profiles, because that can lead to the public thinking something that you're not. So you want to make sure you follow the appropriate advertising laws. The third thing in the don't category, don't ignore branding. Inconsistent branding makes you look unprofessional. Ensure all your marketing materials align with your brand. So we talked about branding in the last section, so I don't want to just beat you over the head with that, but don't ignore branding. Number 4, don't rely on one-on-one marketing channels. Diversify your marketing efforts instead of relying solely on social media, word of mouth, or one advertising method. It's real easy and real comfortable when you first get started as a notary entrepreneur just to go on one platform and just go on that platform and beat that platform up. Make sure you expand your branding. One of the ways that I've done that is I take out a blank sheet of paper and I put on the top marketing plan, and I look at all the platforms: Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, and a Google business page, Yelp. I put down all the ways I want to hit the public, or I want the public to see me or interact with me. And then I work from there and create a branding marketing plan, so marketing strategy. So I'm not relying on one marketing channel, if that makes sense. Hopefully this is resonating with you. Number 5 in the don't category: don't undervalue your services. Again, don't undervalue your services. Avoid pricing too low to attract customers or clients. Emphasize the value and expertise you bring. A lot of times when new notaries come into the business, in order to get clients, they try to do a price point which is lower than value. If I were to sell you this phone, for example, if the phone costs me $100 to create, some notaries, since it's a service business, they underestimate this. And I'm just using this phone as an example. If the phone costs me $100 to create, and you're selling phones at $50, sooner or later you're going to put yourself out of business. And it's the same goes for the service business. If the service costs you $100 to give that service, and you're selling that service for $50, sooner or later you're going to put yourself out of business. You might get business and try to say, well, I'm going to get so much more business because I'm pricing so low. But what you're doing is you slowly putting yourself out of business. At the end of that month, you might be very busy, but then you're not going to be able to pay your expenses because it costs you more to give that service than you're paying on your fee. Hopefully that is resonating with you. Number 6 on the don't list: don't forget business cards and print marketing. Digital marketing is important, but also carrying business cards and flyers for in-person networking. I found that several years ago, for me, business cards work, but I saw that what worked more effectively for me, and everybody's different, that I would create pins with my information on it, my name of my business, my phone number, my contact information, my email address, and maybe a phrase that people can use. And it was professional service, affordable price. That was my phrase that I had on all my business cards. So, and on my business pins, that is. I use pins because business cards, a lot of times, as we changed over to the digital age, when people bring business cards, like we have Rolodexes, I didn't see so much of those anymore on desks. What I saw was places that people kept pins. So I put my business information on a pin, and whenever I go back, my pins are always there. They call me back, and it was always a good experience because now, if you go into business offices now, you don't see so many Rolodexes. You see pen holders where people are always looking for pins. So I always put my information, my advertisements on pins because I know they want to keep them longer. That's just my experience. Number 7, don't use poor quality photos or graphics. So important. I've seen people just use very blurry photos, and now we have phones and we have cameras that take very high quality photos. So make sure you're taking a very high quality photo whenever you are taking photos for marketing materials. One of the people that does this really well is a notary, Brian Payne. He does Anderson Payne. He does great photos on his business cards, and it really stands out. So a shout out to Brian Anderson Payne. Great photos, and he's always dressed professionally. So he always stands out in events and that type of thing for the way he he carries himself and the way his photos are. First impressions matter. Invest in professional photos and clean, well-designed marketing materials. So shout out to Brian Anderson Payne. If you ever get one of his business cards, you say, wow, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Number 8, don't overpromise and misrepresent your services. When I first started in the notary business, there was, and I used to go on notary sites that held notary profiles. There was a person that had on a profile, I'll never forget this, I'm a notary, I'll do whatever it takes to make sure the people sign it. I'm going to make sure they sign it. When you hire me, don't worry, the person's going to sign it. That is misrepresenting. You're not there to, as a extension of the sales force of the people that's hiring you. You are there as a neutral party to make sure, first, they're not under the influence of alcohol. They are the person who they say they are. They're not being coerced, and they're mentally competent. You're not there to sell them a product or anything like that, if that makes sense. So don't misrepresent. Be clear about what you offer and avoid making guarantees that you can't keep. Number 9 on the don't list, don't ignore follow-ups. Follow up with potential leads and previous clients to maintain relationships and secure repeat businesses. Follow up. The fortune, I'm sure you heard this, the fortune is in the follow up. On some of the sites, like for instance, I mentioned Find a Notary. On their site, the person can text you, they can call you, they can email you. Once you get those emails, you should follow up with that immediately. If you're not used to following up, that site probably wouldn't be great for you, because this gives the client, the potential person that wants to hire you, several ways to contact you. And if you're not a follow-up person, or you haven't developed that or evolved into that as your business acumen, you're going to have some trouble. So make sure you follow up with your potential clients. And number 10, don't neglect customer service. This is so huge. You don't want to neglect your customer service. Every quarter, you should be looking at how you interact with your customer. Are you following up with your customer? Are you giving them great customer service? Are you surpassing what their expectations is of your service? A great marketing strategy is useless if you provide poor service. Always prioritize professionalism and client satisfaction. I've seen this over and over and over again. Because new notaries come into the business, they spend 8 months trying to figure out a logo. They spend 10 months trying to figure out a business card, and then they got all that figured out. They put thousands of dollars into a website, and then they get their first assignment, and they show up to that assignment late, unprepared, and it just kills their business. So you always want to put yourself in your customer's shoes for this particular service that you give. So let me just cover again the don'ts to wrap this up. Don't spam your potential clients. Don't violate advertising laws. Don't ignore branding. Don't rely only on one marketing channel, one marketing platform. Don't undervalue your services. Don't forget business cards and printing materials, because it's so important. Even though we're in the digital age, you still want to make sure you maintain that printed materials that help your marketing. Don't use poor quality photos and graphics. Don't overpromise and misrepresent your services. Don't ignore follow-ups. And of course, don't neglect your customer service. If you follow both these do's and don'ts, you have a great foundation for an outstanding business. Hopefully you like this podcast today, and make sure you develop the habits of listening each and every week. So make sure you like, share, subscribe to the podcast. We love doing this each and every week, and that helps us so much. We'd love to hear your comments. Hopefully you'll come back next week, because next week is going to be even bigger. See you next week.